very important and a fundamental right that must be available to all human beings. But the sources of this freedom and the standards of this freedom are different in different nations, different countries, different cultures. Because the sources and the standards of this right are different, the gravity and the lethality of the violations of this right are also different from country to country. For example, in the United States, the source of religious freedom is the U.S. Constitution, the First Amendment. In other places, the constitutions provide that the state religion is this or that, and the religion provides the rights of the people. In the United States, we have religious freedom issues like we want this book in the library, we want that book in the library, or we want 10 commandments displayed in a public park, or we want our 9 commandments displayed in the public park. But as you move from the U.S. borders and you go to different countries, you see where the sources of this religious freedom are different. You will see that the lethality increases. The people in these countries face religious persecution, not just discrimination. For example, in Pakistan, where I'm from, the ACLJ is representing people in Christians and other minorities in religious persecution cases. Just last year, in the city of Gojra, in August, there was an attack on a Christian village. There was a mosque announcement, and the person said that a Christian has desecrated the Quran, so let's go kill these Christians, let's go kill these infidels, these American agents. So a mob gathers with automatic weapons, attacks this whole town, burned 7 people to death, burned more than over 100 houses, looted their valuables, and left them without food, without electricity, without clothing, without bedding. The person who was accused of desecrating the Quran, he can't go back to his home. He's still in danger. After killing 7 people and burning more than 100 houses, this poor Christian is still in danger. The American Center for Law and Justice and its affiliate in Pakistan is trying to provide protection to this person and his family. Most of these cases are started by blasphemy allegation, simple blasphemy allegation. For example, in another case, we're representing Imran Masih, who had a bookstore, and the next door person, a Muslim, he wanted the bookstore for himself and wanted to take this Christian out of his store. When he could not get it, he accused him of burning the Quran. It was a book, a simple book, a textbook that contained some verses in Arabic. He did not know what that meant. He asked his neighbor, a Muslim, that how to dispose of this book because it contains Arabic and I don't know what it is. So this neighbor says, "Oh, you should burn it because that's the proper way to dispose of the book." And he sets it on fire. The very next moment, the same Muslim shouted that this Christian was burning the Quran. Pakistani court has recently sentenced Imran Masih to life imprisonment. Just a week after, a husband and a wife were both sentenced to 25 years in prison because they touched the Quran without washing their hands. These cases are not just isolated incidents just in Pakistan, but in Egypt, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Iran. In many Muslim countries, you'll see these kind of cases of persecution. For example, the reason why we are here today is Mr. Higazi. He converted to Christianity in 1998. He was arrested, tortured. His attorneys received threats from Muslim groups. 2 academics from Al-Azhar University demanded his execution. You have heard, Mr. Malik, that his opposing counsel said that Mr. Higazi should be killed. What he wanted was a simple change of his ID card. Egyptian Civil Status Law 47, Article 47, Section 2 allows citizens to change their religious affiliation on their ID cards. The law is only in the books, and it is available to Muslims. If you convert from another religion to Islam, you can do that. You can change your ID card if you get a certificate from a competent body that you're a convert. And in Egypt, the competent body is Al-Azhar University. In a case of Christian, a person who converts from Islam to Christianity or any other religion, he cannot bring a certificate from a competent body and change his religion. He has to get a court verdict. So Mr. Higazi did that. He went to the court and applied, requested the court that he should be allowed to change his religion on his ID card. You also have to understand that identification documents are very important in Egypt. As you have heard from my colleague, that his kids will receive education, the religious education that they will receive depends on what religion is written on their ID cards. Since they are Muslim, officially, they will receive Islamic education. There are other important reasons to change their identification. But the most important of all, the reason is that a person should have a right to be identified as a religious person or the religion he belongs to. So he went to the court, and I'll read you a quote from the Supreme Administrative Court that held in January 2008, and I quote, "Monotheistic religions were sent by God in chronological order, and therefore one cannot convert to an older religion." And it says, "Islam is the final and most complete religion. Therefore, Muslims already practice full freedom of religion and cannot convert to older religions such as Christianity or Judaism." Mr. Higazi is in hiding. His passport has been confiscated by the Egyptian government. He can't leave the country to save his life. Our European affiliate, the European Center for Law and Justice, and the ACLJ has filed a petition with the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Religion and Belief. And we have asked the UN to intervene on Mr. Higazi's behalf so that, and convince the government of Egypt to comply with its obligation. Egypt has ratified the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, and they're obligated to provide those rights. And not just the international law. Egypt's own law provides that you can change your religion, but only one group of people is allowed to change, and the other group is not.